Hey guys, welcome to the biggest waste of my day. Day 2 of Animus has passed us by because it took me a full fucking day to process the amount of bullshit I had to witness last night. That's not true, actually. I just did not want to talk about breasts, fighting sports, people getting their fucking head cut off in a house full of people. So let's talk while I'm alone at 1 in the afternoon on day 3 about episodes from day 2. So the first one I'm going to talk about is not actually going to be Gabriel Dropout this time. I'm actually going to start with My Man Tokyo Tribe 2 from Ian, episode 2. Now in this episode, wow, what the fuck? Okay, so playing off the trails of the first episode, we see our main man, Kai, run into, the guy with the sword. And they basically chase each other throughout the whole city in this really cool 2006-esque chase sequence. And Kai has a bat, the other guy has a sword. They're just chasing each other. Not much is happening. They start jumping buildings. They fall off a fucking building and land on their 2 feet. Just like sumo wrestlers or something like that. I guess that's what they were going for. Also, I love that I'm probably moving the webcam. I was doing that a lot last time. Good. You're missing the top of my head, but that's okay. So, they chase each other for a while. And then they come to this climactic sword battle and like bat battle a little bit on the top of a roof. And Kai knocks away his sword. Goes flying. But then the guy pulls up like this chain, and then he like stabs the kid in the arm with it, and then he almost throws him off a building, and then he does actually throw him off the building, but Kai throws him off the building. They fall on the ground. They do that sumo wrestler thing I was talking about. He gets his sword back because it fell to the ground. He uses the sword, and he goes to stab Kai, and he ends up stabbing Maki straight through the chest. Maki's dead, and that's pretty much all of what happened in episode 2. We also get introduced to these 2 losers near the end. One is like a womanizer, but not really. He's like some famous guy. The other is someone who looks like Binky from Arthur. And that is the episode. Again, really good episode. I don't know. Maybe I'm so stranded among the shit that Jaden and Zuper give me that I have to cling on to the little strands of hope. Speaking of little strands of hope, Gabriel Dropout. This episode was better than episode 1. There was a lot more funny moments, a lot more Satania, and I'm definitely starting to see what Ethan was talking about with Satania being the best character. She's like a tsundere, but not quite. She's way too innocent to be one. She is pure. I mean, there's no scenes like her holding the bucket, but there's scenes like her snapping the chopsticks in half. There's scenes like her dumping the hot sauce in her food, or bringing out whatever the fuck kind of fish that was. There's scenes with her and her disciple, and that just goes completely awry. Other than that, it's very slice of lifey so far. No big plot lines. It just keeps cutting in between stories and moments. So far, my favorite was definitely the cooking session, because her wearing the full cooking garb was kind of amazing. Pretty standard fare for the most part. The best friend to the angel with the gold hair, that one. Yeah, she's fine. The best friend is, you know, your typical best friend character. It's basically Ui from K-On!, except not a sister. And it's also that one friend from Place Further Than the Universe, but not trying to basically destroy her chances of going to Alaska. Though I don't know if Gabe, of course, Gabriel. She's the fucking name of the show. I don't think Gabriel's trying to go to Alaska is the point I'm trying to make. Other than that, good show so far. It's not really much I can say, because we're about to crash into The problem childs of the Animus tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, Keijo, episode 2. Oh, before I jump into Keijo, episode 2, the ender happened to Gabriel drop out. Weird, sexualized, and okay. Those are the 3 words I can use to describe it. Weird, sexualized, and okay. It's not anything special, it's just an ender. On to the problem child. Welcome to fucking Keijo episode 2. Okay, so this wasn't as bad to suffer through as episode 1. They pretty much spend the entire episode as like a training montage of sorts. The characters in the lower class, who are not in the high upper shit lord class who eat ice cream every fucking day. No, the lower class have to do a bunch of weird, obscene exercises. Anything from running excessive amounts of distance to crawling on their ass and using none of their other body parts, which I've done before. That is actually something you can do. This is correct. It requires an insane amount of gluteal muscle, and if you travel for the amount of distance they were describing in the show, good fucking luck. Other than that, they had the entire part in which the characters had to play what was essentially foursquare or volleyball with their asses. None of their boobs, just their butts, while the teacher managed to pick the absolute worst day 3 times in a row of inclement weather and really insane winds, which I guess is fair. They're on the beach, so of course you're going to have a lot of winds. But I think you could go one day where the wind is not so miserable. Yeah, but that wouldn't make it funny, would it? So, the main concern of this episode is that we have the one girl, Alba, I believe her name is, who refuses to speak for the most part, for a reason that's discussed later in the episode. However, the girls need to coordinate in order to be able to hit the ball, because if they don't, they just crash into each other, or they lightly tap each other and say, I'm sorry. See, it's funny that there's moments like that, where it's like stereotypically feminine, where they just like lightly touch each other like, oh, I'm sorry. Where you know if this show had been predominantly boys, they would have crashed into each other and got into like this faux heated debate. But no, because it's girls, it's funnier if they lightly tap each other with their boobs and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Some stereotypes never die. And then Alba-sama, or whatever the fuck her name is, Alba, she's just like, you know, I have this hair ponytail on the back of my head and it like curves into the direction. So the main girl's like, oh shit, she knows where the ball's going to go. You just have to look at her ponytail, which is utterly ridiculous. Because I think if you turn your head, the ponytail goes that way, but if you turn your head, your ponytail goes that. But no, her ponytail swings with her body. It's like she curves her hips like whoosh. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so because they start following the ponytail, everything's hunky-dory. But then the ball goes a wild direction on one of the swings, and the main girl purposely does not take Alba's advice on her ponytail and forces Alba to speak out loud in her funny accent that I still can't tell the difference of between the other characters and them because, you know, it's still Japanese, so it's hard to tell. That said, they get back to the dorm and they realize, oh shit, it was because she had a funny accent the whole time and the main girl commented on it that she wasn't speaking. Which is utterly ridiculous because all of them have funny accents, so she should feel less obligated to hide her funny accent because they all have funny accents, she remarks. So it's something that she can feel proud of, but no, I guess she's very sensitive. And that's the episode. So again, otherwise not too bad. Oh wait, no. How could I forget the final part of the episode? So, that whole siren thing that was teased in the last episode, that happens in the last 3 minutes of the episode, if that. The girls finally get into the island, which is like the little circle round thing on the ocean, or like the pool. And the goal is the 4 of them are to fight a teacher, and they end up fighting the siren. Now, what happens is they go to fight the siren. The main girl does some special JoJoian stance as per usual and tries to knock off the siren, but ends up creating a shitload of air pressure that destroys the other girl's suits. For some reason, it doesn't destroy the head mistress's, the teacher's suit, but it destroys the other girl's suits. You get nice little Fire Emblem Heroes destroyed clothing cut. And then it just cuts to the main girl having this really odd suit from Darling in the Franxx. And that's the episode. Yeah, not too bad. I'm not thinking that Keijo's going to be a mainstay. In fact, I guarantee that Zuper's probably going to switch it at some point, because at this point, the initial shock value of girls beating each other up with their bodies has kind of dwindled. There's only so many times I can comment on that. Unlike episode 15 of my good buddy ReZero. Okay, where do you even fucking begin? So the events of the last episode ended off with Rem being dead, and that's where it immediately picks up at, as Subaru walks through this destroyed city and goes downstairs inside the castle, and he comes to this very, very, very cold room. Now, I've been informed by Jaden and the rest of them that the witch from last episode is Amelia, which is a whole extra layer of confusing. So apparently she has this dark energy around her, I'm guessing, and she can't control her powers. Maybe that's why, and she has like this dark force inside of her. Or maybe it's just Beetlejuice, I don't fucking know. Or Beetlejuice, how the fuck you pronounce that in Japanese. Who knows? And anyway, he goes down to this frozen room, which I'm assuming is Amelia's power radiating or something like that. It's really fucking cold down there. He's walking around. He comes across this door and tries to open it after seeing a bunch of dead guards on the ground. He touches the door, pulls his hand away, and his finger nubs, 3 of them or 4 of them, I don't know how many, basically just broke off. He looks at his hand, he's like, oh fuck. He falls on the ground, and before he realizes it, he's like, you have not realized it. You realized too late. And then his face cracks, breaks off, no blood, and he just wakes up back in town. And this is the part that I'm assuming is the ReZero, because he's back to 0 or something, or back to at least a couple days. And he basically just collapses into this super comatose state. Yeah, let's go with that. He becomes completely comatose, to Rem's utter dismay. Goes back to the mansion, tries to work over the situation that's been going on, and then they decide to move his body somewhere. I don't know where. Rem's just like, let's go. Meanwhile, comatose Subaru is just like... And they get attacked by a bunch of guards, and then Subaru gets captured, and they run into Beetlejuice. Now, talk about the master of chewing the scenery. This guy is either the best or worst part of the episode. He just consistently takes away from the running time to do a bunch of funny poses, which is occasionally funny and occasionally just like, come on. But then Rem comes back, and she fights for Subaru and ends up getting killed. Again, Rem just gets killed every episode. So that's the running joke, I guess. I don't fucking know. So Subaru, this entire time, Beetlejuice was commenting on it, that he was faking his condition, that he could talk the entire time, but was choosing to act like he couldn't. But at seeing Rem die, he does, in fact, get up and start shouting Beetlejuice's name in a very funny fashion. Start Naruto running towards him and like lashing out at Beetlejuice, but really he can't because he's in chains. And it's at this point where probably I'm assuming most people are like, oh fucking damn it, it's Subaru being a cunt again, trying to get sympathy from others or something like that. I'm assuming, because honestly the only thing I really know about ReZero, having before watched it, was that everyone hates Subaru in the Discord. Personally, I don't think that he was trying to gain sympathy. I mean, maybe to an extent, but more than anything, he was trying to make it so no one asked him about what happened. I think that's probably the best. If he makes like this huge scene about it, then he can probably make them think, okay, let's not ask Subaru about what happened, because clearly he doesn't want to talk about it. And then Subaru doesn't have to think about it. He can have time to himself to think, you know what, I'm just not gonna, it's just like, there it goes, goodbye. Anyway, so he's left to stew in his own thoughts, because Beetlejuice is like, I'll let the king decide what to do with you. Blah! And he's very slothful, sits on the ground. And then somehow, miracle of miracles, fucking Rem is still alive, crawling, like her head twisted around, but not really, like towards Subaru. Uses her hamo, or whatever the fuck it's called, the ice barrier, break his chains. They walk outside, they do walking. Still no end credits, because every single episode so far has just had the continuing storyline over top the end credits. He walks towards the castle, and actually, no, that was before the end credits. Anyway, I'm talking out of my butt. He walks towards the castle, and there's this giant cat demon who's like, yeah, rest now, you fucking idiot. And he just sits there, freezes to death, and his head pops off. And it's fucking hilarious, because no other part of his body pops off. Just goes. Oh, I should also mention Ram's also dead, but, you know, everyone's fucking dead in this timeline. So that was ReZero episode 15. They rewind time at the very end, and he's just like, I'm gonna kick Beetlejuice's ass, and that's really the episode. Not as bad as the initial start with 14, because I can clearly tell that the death of Rem was really not something to get freaked out over. Because apparently, although this is very traumatizing for the boy who has to experience this over and over and over again, or his death or other people's death, it's not lasting so long as Subaru dies. Very weird round of episodes. I don't even know what to say other than that. Very, very strange round of episodes. So I'm going to go edit this real fast and then go straight into watching the other episodes. Seems like you guys want to start watching the episodes with me, which is just great. Ian also said he's going to find something else for me to watch because I'm enjoying Tokyo Tribe too much. That's going to be great. You know, there goes one of my lifelines. Ethan is sending me to watch something else, I believe, today. Let's actually check the list. Oh, yeah, I can't check the list. I'm offline. Yeah, you know what? You get the point. Animus Day 2 is over. Animus Day 3 is starting immediately. Good. Good. If you enjoyed this, good. See you today, because this is uploaded a day late.